Hi, it's me again. I thought I would do my commentary on something that happened earlier last week after the inauguration, and the picture says for itself, and I'm not going to talk long on it, and you can watch other people's videos. They have a longer um, talk about it, and if you could only see the wives of the president and the vice president, their wives, and how they looked, and then how J.D. Vance looked, and even if it was even there, some body doubles and, inserted inside there. It's just that the thought of what went on there, the very disturbing situation that happened, and the simple fact that they had this lady bishop, and I'm going to say to people who don't know, yes, it's not just that denomination. There been lady bishops that are not white, and actually some leadership that's been under even Holy Spirit filled ministries that are um are not, you know people who are not white, like the lady that was, aren't, the different, you know it's just a lot of people just don't know how many women lead in leadership. Now, we know Trump is somebody that supports women in ministry, who's had people as some of his advisors around him as women, females that are in ministry. Everybody doesn't agree with women being in ministry and as why. But then when you deliberately put somebody, a lady, bishop, to conduct this, lead the service, and to use that time to target against the current, incoming administration. That's a just, that's a disturbing matter. And then I thought I would say something when she talked about the I tripped out when she hit him about the meat packing plants. And I'll say to the people who don't know, as far as the meat packing plants, there was a not too long ago that people were talking about boycotting Tyson. I think it's Tyson Chicken, if not, I'm not mistaken. Uh, that they were gonna boycott because this uh company, the meat packing plant, decided that they were open to using, I would say, the term undocumented or migrants to help pack with the meat packing. And then how the lady just assumingly had like uh that mention on some certain type of domestic type positions, for people who, are illegal. Now, I'm glad before I did this, I thought about my one of the guys I'm subscribed to on Rumble was talking about the DACA, situation, and how people were, the dreamer situation. And we're not, so there are different people who, and I'm going to say this, there are people who came in illegally and, you know, situated, and they worked towards getting legal, even though because there are some people who I'll say who came in and will work towards it, and work towards it. There are some people out there, and then the people who came in as children, who were minors, who came in as children, who have nothing to do with they came in, they can't, they have no control over the situation, where they came in as minors, or some situation where they might have been trafficked into it, or there are different circumstances that people, but the people who are the priority that they're focused on deporting right now are people who have, you know, uh, criminal records, like people who, are involved in certain crimes and stuff like that. Certain, crimes like gangs or people involved in, like, strong crimes, like, have rap sheets, like criminals that actually are criminals who are actually, involved in stuff like, just criminal activities, like, you know, gang activity, or, somebody said, I saw about people who were, you know, in assault type of, crimes, or somebody that might be, armed, armed robbery or something, like just less examples of certain crimes and certain gang activity, different like that. But they're not talking about people who, the people that's, mainly people getting deported is the people, they're prioritizing people who actually have committed crimes, who I hear that, because I have people from work that are immigrants who know that when people commit crimes that they're supposed to get deported, and that certain people get deported. But some people slip through the cracks, and the former administration, the fake one, which has the different guys that play Joe Biden, allegedly, um, that's that's uh that's in that's that were involved in certain criminal activity that should have got deported, but unfortunately they didn't. And some people don't believe, oh, they wouldn't let them stay in the country if they committed crimes. I said, well, they did. And I tell the guys from work who don't think that these people stayed in the country, well, they did. And they're showing on the news that the people are getting deported, and the people who stayed in this country after committing certain crimes, they stayed in the country. And statistically, they're actually sharing information that people actually did commit crimes. Now, the picture says a thousand words, but that's just a screenshot. I didn't want to do a long video. I'm just working on doing videos. You put a picture on the screen and you do a video. But the long story short, it's really that people just need to research. And they talk about in the message about trans people, are trans alphabet people, and the people are the trans kids. I'm like, well, you're talking about the ones with the parents who want to, transition their kids, which the executive order, one of the first executive orders, that they can't transition their underage child, or the child that's in elementary school, or across the pond might have called primary school. People across the pond, they call it primary school. An elementary school child deciding their gender, or the parents deciding, I want to make my little boy a little girl, or I want to make my little boy, I want to make my daughter a little boy, or to raise her as a guy, or raise him as a girl. And then, these kids, they're not allowed to even drive, or things like that, and they're choosing, and then mess up the child, like the Wade and Gabrielle Union Wade, in which the mother did the biological mother didn't approve, and that, she had, spoke out about that, and she doesn't, and that's messed up. You messed up a child. And then there's the video of Michelle Obama approving, encouraging the Wade's child on him transitioning. Now, that's another story in itself. But then deciding, and then when you say we're acknowledging two genders, a man and woman, They're not saying they're hating people that, decide to be trans or whatever. And there's plenty of people in the alphabet community and some that are not white. And plenty of people in the alphabet community who are Trump supporters. And and it was that guy that led to walk away from the Democrats. He was openly gay, and doesn't mean that, people are following behind him, you know, but they follow behind what he was, some of the stuff he was saying, then walking away. But then there's the black guy who just was in the, pardon, and, Enrique Tarrio, yeah, that one, he had a part, yeah. And I gotta do an another video on about this J6, but that's another story. But this lady, somebody particularly got her on purpose, got her on purpose there, because they could have had somebody else speak, but they particularly had her to speak because they knew that she was very liberal, and I wouldn't be surprised somebody wrote that, what she said to uh the president on that. And I'm like, you know, and I heard it's a tradition for all the presidents for years now to go to that particular church, and for the service after their inauguration. They're doing tradition, and they knew that Trump was gonna, the president, the vice president, whether it was them, the originals, or their body double. I had to put that out there. I say allegedly, because, some have, allegedly have been used, allegedly, because all the assassination attempts, you gotta have a body, you gotta have some, Trump has to have, and Lonnie has to have some body doubles. So, I'm just gonna say that, but allegedly, because that one, the interview with Candace Owens Farmer, the one that didn't seem like the original, because the one. But anyway, but that's not what I was coming to talk about. I was talking about the service that had this woke lady who just they chose to use that lady, because they particularly used that lady because they figured, you know they would push because it was an attack to push her agenda. But I'm gonna leave that there, and just, yeah, and I'll have to leave that there, because I don't want a long video drawn out with this picture on the screen and me trying to talk about it, but you know how that goes. And I will leave that there, and just, but I'm thankful. I'm thankful it was called out by different people, because different people have done videos after that. And to other people, there are different people who are because it's just, there are different women in ministry, and then there are different, denominations of women in ministry who are, have pastoral leadership. And some of them are bishop, and they're not all, and they're different, they're not all white. But not saying that I'm supporting a woman as a bishop. They have women as, leadership, or women who are assisting in pastorship with their spouses, or their significant other, like the wife assisting pastor with their husband, and he's the lead of that, senior leader of that ministry, but the wife assists in the leadership of that ministry. But I'm gonna leave that there, and I'm gonna have to cut this video, because I'm not trying to make it but so long. And y'all be blessed, and I got more videos coming. Check in the description, because for more information. Now leave that there. Bye. Hi. It's me again. I thought I would do my commentary on something that happened.